hello, good evening, and welcome everyone. Today I've got the incredible pleasure to introduce to you the absolute legend, Denise Mortimer. Denise, I am so happy to have you. You are a positive psychologist and you are a business mentor to women who are starting their businesses. But most importantly, you are my first mentor, and I am so excited to talk to you tonight.
Yay, I'm so excited to be here. And you have no idea, you are just such an absolutely amazing mentee. I'm so proud of everything you're doing and everything you're achieving.
I just can't wait to ask you a few questions, because to me this is an interview and also a bit of a catch-up of what has been happening since we last chatted. On International Women's Day, 8th of March, so a couple of weeks ago, you published a book, The Woman I'm Becoming. And I would really love to hear about what inspired it. Can you tell me all about it? I cannot wait to get my mitts on it so I can read it. It looks fantastic. And not surprisingly, of course, it went to #1 bestseller on Amazon straight away. It looks like a fantastic book. Can you tell me all about it and the inspiration behind it, please?
Yeah, the inspiration behind that was, it was about something for our daughters. So it's a legacy for teenage girls to know that they're not alone, that they don't need to go through the struggles alone, or to know that the struggles are normal. It's an opportunity for us to reflect back to them things we wish we'd have known when we were teenagers. And we were overwhelmed when there's 20 of us in the book, overwhelmed when it went straight in at as bestseller, and then it was like #1 as well, which was amazing. And it's so beautiful. It's such a beautiful tribute to all the young girls, and some of them have their own children and some of them have grandchildren, and it's just an amazing tribute and legacy to leave behind. Each chapter is so beautifully written from the heart, and it's a very moving and emotional book.
Wow, that sounds amazing. And what an amazing, incredible, really, idea to be sharing stories and thoughts and feelings that you wish you had known when you were younger, and to leave a legacy like this for younger girls. I think that's incredible.
Yeah, I agree.
On to another question, because you are also very passionate about, women starting businesses later in life. So you always talk a lot about, starting your business in your 50s and so on. So that's kind of like two sides of leaving something for the younger generation, but also motivating the generation who is not the youngest, but still very young and still capable of doing everything they want to do in their lives. Can you tell me what trends you are seeing in the industry in terms of women a little bit later in life, either starting or not starting their businesses? What are you noticing?
I'm noticing that a lot more women are stepping up to start their businesses. Still not enough. There's still a lack of women represented in the entrepreneurial space. So I'd love to see more women stepping up. And I think the belief, because I was a late bloomer, if you like. I was always a leader, but I was a late bloomer in starting my business. And it was because I didn't really know how to do it. And I'm so passionate about empowering women to know that they can create something. I thought it was a millennials world, because it seemed like that. You go online and it seems to be young people everywhere. So I would love to see more women coming forward. There are so many fears, though. So many people are like trapped in these fears of what's not possible. And I think one of the biggest realizations that I've had over the last couple of years doing the work I'm doing is helping people. The biggest thing you can help people with is their mindset, is getting them out of their own way, is helping them to recognize that their past doesn't need to define their future, because they wake up every day and they're living in the past. They're living with old beliefs and stuff. So the trend I want to see is more women stepping up, more women taking ownership. And I don't mean to sound like they need to be more masculine, but men have this kind of belief of like, here's for example, like when men go for a job, if they apply for a job and they only meet 50% of the criteria on the application, they think, hell yeah, I got this. Whereas a woman, if she doesn't meet 50% of the criteria, will think, oh, I won't bother. And that, I think, is representative of women in the entrepreneurial space as well. So we want to see more women saying, hell yeah, I can do this. I can fill in those missing pieces. I can find the missing pieces. So definitely want to see more women building their businesses.
I love the term late bloomer. I think it's brilliant. But this also, so what you've just mentioned about obviously men, you know, if they meet 50% criteria, they think, yes, I'm in. And obviously women saying, oh, not yet, I need to learn more and so on. And I know you are very passionate about helping women who have got tons of experience, skills, qualifications, but they either don't necessarily know what to do with them, or maybe they just think about them, using them in a traditional way. So just in the corporate world, and perhaps not necessarily realizing that they can have their own businesses, or they don't have the how to. Can you explain to me what inspired that mission in you, first of all? Like, how did you start with
it? You know, I was sitting at my kitchen table with my daughter in November 2016, and she said, Mom, why don't you take your coaching business online? And I was like, how do I do that? How do I take my coaching business online? And she started showing me her client's website and all these beautiful, like, you know, branding photos and all these beautiful blog posts that her client did. And so I started dipping my toe in the water. And as a woman who had just turned 50, I was like, you know, the realization, Nina, is that more of my life is behind me than ahead of me. And if I don't step into doing, if I don't start using all these qualifications I've obtained, because I spent years doing qualifications. I did my NLP, then my NLP master, then my positive psychology and health and fitness studies. And I've done so many qualifications, but I wasn't putting them to the best use because I didn't know how to. 50 was like a wake-up call for me. It's like, you know, the equivalent of someone having a heart attack and realizing they have to improve their health. For me, it was like, you know, if I don't do this now, I'm never going to do it, and I need to just like hang up my hat. So to me, it was turning that age and then recognizing, I kind of want to be the poster girl for like, look what's possible. You know, I want to earn a lot of money. There's no, like, we get embarrassed about money as well. And I want to earn big money. I earn big money in the corporate world, and I want to earn big money on my own. And I want women to claim that as well, because they get so embarrassed about money. Like, oh, just enough to get by. Why don't you want more than enough? If you have more than enough, then you can give more than enough away. You can give, you know, you can do more charitable work. You can do more of the stuff that you love. But we get so hung up on, you know, just enough. I want to see women. There's so many bright, incredibly talented women who are just hiding under like the old regime of what it is to be a woman. You can be feminine, you can still be out there kicking ass in the world and making, you know, huge sums of money along the way, using all your skills.
I'm glad that wake-up call when you turned 50 wasn't a heart attack, but just a wake-up call of looking online and thinking, you know, I need to put it into practice. I think that's a much nicer wake-up call. But I really love that mission. And I always think, you know, we only live once. I don't know how many days I've got left. It may be few, it may be quite few, but you might as well make the most of it. Sometimes I think, as humans, I feel almost like we're so silly. We have got like such a brief moment here in this world, and we get worried and like we fear so many silly things, really, of like what other people think, and just get enough to get by. Well, do you really want to get by for the rest of your life, or do you want to have amazing life? Do you have, you know, do you want to make your dreams come true and so on?
Yeah.
What I also wanted to ask, because like you're obviously at the Savoy Hotel now, and every time I look online, you're in Holland doing a speaking gig somewhere, and you attend so many different things, and you're incredible international speaker. You're obviously an author whose books are #1 bestsellers. You are a business coach. You are a mentor. You are super qualified. What is your secret to balancing it all, as well as obviously balancing family and balancing your life and making it all work and being productive? What do you do? Tell me.
I've been divinely gifted with this tremendous energy and lust for life, and I'm a natural born leader as well. I think we're born into leadership. I think some people can learn the skills, but I think others are born leaders. And I've always been if I'm in any situation, I tend to gravitate towards, okay, I'm in charge. It's just the way I'm cut. So I've got this amazing energy. It's God-given. I don't have to try to have it, and I get energized from people as well. And I think it's a divine gift that I've always been curious about people. I love what I do. I love connecting with people. Like it's not an issue. It's like, I know some people who are more on the introverted scale and they prefer to not be with people. I actually really love being with people. I love being on stage. I love having new experiences. I love a crowd. I love, like, if I don't have a microphone, I don't feel happy. Some people would rather die than be on stage with as a public speaker. And again, I'm also in a position where my children are grown up. So, I don't know how young mothers do it, because when my children were young, I spent all my years in the corporate world because it was just so much easier for me. But now I've got the freedom of, my husband is super, super supportive. He's like one of the most incredible people on the planet, because he's just always, whatever I want to do, he's there to support me. So I think I have, I'm so blessed that I have so many amazing things lined up in my life. My kids are big, they're self-sufficient, they're looking after themselves. I'm still driven. I've still got so much more to give, and I've got this amazing supportive husband. So it's a number of elements that sort of come together to, and an insatiable desire. Like, if I get my teeth into something, I'm just like, I'm not going to let it go until I get what I decided I was going to get as a result of that. It's just tenacity, absolute tenacity.
Well, I think first of all, happy birthday to your husband. I know it has been his birthday, and everyone on Facebook were exploding with numbers of even though I know he prefers to be in the background rather than all over Facebook, but I hope he had a lovely day. Also, what I wanted to ask you about is, what do you think, so when you first started and when you were helping new people start their own businesses, what are the biggest challenges? So like the energy that you talk about, I mean, that I can get that from a video, and you're you're not even next to me. But what do you think of people who are just starting, and it can be quite daunting, and what are the biggest challenges, and what do you think, what tools can they use to overcome it?
I think the biggest challenge in working with newcomers, people who are qualified and are wanting to start a business, for me, the biggest challenge that I see is that they will invest heavily in all of their qualifications, but then they don't know how to translate those qualifications into a business, and there's a resistance to investing in understanding how to run a business. And I think that's one of the biggest hurdles. When you finally surrender and accept that you need the support of like everybody, anyone who's achieved anything great in this world has a mentor. Even, heads of state have mentors, except probably not Donald Trump, because he thinks he knows it all. But everybody has a mentor. So it's about finding someone who's done that and feeling confident, like not viewing an investment as, oh my God, I'm going to lose this money, but oh my God, how much I'm going to gain as a result of being with this person. Like it's, proximity is power. Being with people who've achieved what you want and who are in the income bracket that you want to be in, and who have the knowledge that they can impart to you. Like, that's so priceless. And I think some beginners are resistant to investing in themselves, thinking, this is one of my sort of high horse items, that they think they can opt in because there's great quality freebies out there. There's amazing quality freebies, but it's like having a puzzle and just not having a clue how to put the pieces together. So when you make the decision to work with someone, then you have, hopefully you've done your due diligence and you've got the pieces to put together. So I think, the first piece of advice for someone starting out is to find a mentor who's done the thing, who's achieved the success in the area that you want to achieve success, and then just find a way to pay them, because we always find the money for the things that we want. And then the second thing is just your mindset has to be, everything comes down to your mindset. If your mindset's not in the right place, and it's such the word gets bandied around so much, but it's about connecting with yourself. It's about making sure that you're on purpose, because if you're forcing something that's not right for you, if you're jumping on I'm going to be a coach bandwagon because you see it as easy money, or you see it as, the route out of, just an easy way to get things done, that's not the case at all. You need to be living your purpose, because it doesn't matter how hard it gets. You will still love it because you're on purpose, and doors open for you when you're on purpose. So it's about getting real about what is your driving force behind that. Your driving force has to be about what you believe you are here to give to the world.
I couldn't agree more. Like, obviously, having been your mentee, like, I didn't even know about this world until we started chatting. I mean, I was like, I love my job and was so into it, and all of my qualifications for the years, and totally, like you say, you gain all these qualifications, but none of them actually teach you how to have a business or run a business.
Yes.
Or how do you get clients? Like, you know how to do coaching, but who are you going to coach? Like that.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I couldn't agree more. And I think the same about mindset. Like, that's something that's never really taught at any schools or education at all. It's more about the hard, use spreadsheets and following processes and so on, but not so much understanding your purpose and what you're doing. But I couldn't agree more with what you're saying. Well, Denise, it's been absolutely fantastic to have you. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge. Like, thank you for being such an inspiration and absolute powerhouse and ball of energy. Thanks so much for connecting from the Savoy in London.
Something at the Savoy. Thank you for having me, Nina. Thank you for allowing me to have the space to share some of these things. And anyone who's a beginner, who's wanting to start, find yourself a mentor, find someone who's done it, and just trust your intuition and go for it. You get one shot at life, and the people that people are watching, that they're admiring because they seem to have it all together, it's because that person is in flow and they're on purpose, and your only mission on this planet is to find your flow, to find what you're supposed to be doing, and then do it better than anybody else, because there's only one way that you can do it, and it's your way. So make it matter. Go out there, make your mark on the world.
Absolutely. And if you're watching, well, if you wanted to start, Denise is your lady, and I'm the example of her. So anyone watching, I will post all the links underneath of how you can reach Denise, and feel free to get in touch and also get involved in Denise's group, because there's lots of great stuff going on and lots of lovely live videos with tons of content. And thank you so much for sharing everything today. So much value. Thank you, Denise.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
At the Savoy. Bye.
Ciao.